Fáilte go múna le rút. In this video today, I will be discussing the ancient form of writing called hieroglyphics. Ancient Egyptians loved to write and draw. So with that love, they created their own written language called hieroglyphics, which was a series of pictures that represented letters, words, and even a combination of letters. Back then, they even wrote their hieroglyphs on the walls of their houses, on the tombs, on pyramids, and even on papyrus rolls. And children could even write on the walls of their homes without getting in trouble. Original hieroglyphs started out very simply. If there was a picture of a bird, it simply meant a bird. However, as the language developed, the picture of a bird meant the letter M. In 1799, the Rosetta Stone was discovered by the French in northern Egypt. And this was a very special stone indeed, because each side of the stone there was a description written in 3 different languages. One of them hieroglyphic, one of them Demotic, and the other Greek. And so the French were able to use the knowledge of the 2 other languages to discover what was written in hieroglyphic. Therefore, nowadays, we can now understand the language ourselves and use it, just like they did. So now I'm going to draw out the hieroglyphic alphabet. So we'll start with A. Now, A looks like an owl with a large curved sign above his head, or 2 big curved eyebrows, and 2 feet. So that's the letter A. There's also another form of A, and you could say it's like a hand outstretched. So now we'll move on to B. B is just simply a foot or a leg. C just simply looks like this. D, you could say is like an outstretched palm, but a very thin palm. Line there. E, which is a very unusual shape. F, and it's also V, is like a very curved worm or snail. G, almost like a weighing scale with a triangle in the center. H, I'm going to colour this in around the edge and around here. That's H. H is also this curved shape with a round top and back down again. That's H. I is just simply this. And J, kind of like a long squiggle. So we're halfway there. K is like a bowl with a handle on it on the corner and has a checkered pattern on it. But I'm sure you can do a much better checkered pattern than I can here. L is like a lion, and that's easy to remember because L for lion. And he has a tail here. Oh, that's not a very well drawn line, but I'm sure you could do much better. So that's L. A simple line is all they need. And M is also like another bird. More like a bird shape, really. And just like as I had mentioned in the video earlier. N is just this simple black shape. And N is also this as well. And to even make it harder, there's a third N, so they obviously use the N, letter N often. That's also N. O is like a little sun-dropped flower. U is one of the more simpler ones. It's kind of like a curve. There's also another U. So in this alphabet, they have quite a few variations of the same letter. And it's a bird. So They seem to have an awful lot of birds. W is actually the exact same picture, so I'm sure this creates some difficulty. That's the same W. X is once again the checkered bowl. Second last one, Y. And finally, Z. And that is the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphic alphabet.